faithfully delivering value, interpreting great books from around the world. Hello, this is Sally's Book Club. Today, the book we'll explore is The Fall of Chu, subtitled From Xiang Yu to Han Xin, authored by renowned historian Li Kaiyan, professor at the Faculty of Humanities of Tokyo Imperial University. From 206 BC to 202 BC, the Xiang Yu faction and Liu Bang faction engaged in massive wars for supremacy, historically termed the Chu-Han contention. As we know, the seemingly invincible Xiang Yu met defeat and death. His Western Chu regime fell, while victorious Liu Bang established the Han Dynasty, lasting over 400 years. Though the Chu-Han conflict lasted barely 3 years, it left an indelible mark on Chinese history. Not only because iconic figures like Liu Bang, Xiang Yu, Han Xing, and Fan Zheng displayed vivid, charismatic personalities, but also due to their dazzlingly complex strategic maneuvers. Even today, mysteries persist. Why didn't Xiang Yu declare himself emperor after Qing's fall, instead establishing multiple vassal kings? Why was his formidable faction destroyed by seemingly weaker Liu Bang? Why did he end up abandoned and dismembered? How did Han Xin, initially Liu Bang's subordinate, emerge as a third power late in the war? To the extent that Liu Bang had to plead for his help against Xiang Yu. In The Fall of Chu, From Xiang Yu to Han Xin, the author analyzes historical records while visiting ancient battlefields, combining scholarship with fieldwork to unravel the war's mysteries. I'll present the book in 4 parts. Part 1, the geopolitical landscape after Qin Dynasty's collapse. Part 2, Liu Bang's unlikely resurgence and Xiang Yu's desperate counteroffenses. Part 3, the stalemate phase of the Chu-Han War. Part 4, from Han Xin's coronation to Xiang Yu's suicide. All right, let's begin with Part 1, the geopolitical landscape after Qin Dynasty's collapse. In 207 BC, Liu Bang's forces penetrated the Qin heartland, Guanzhong region and Shanxi. Soon Liu Bang captured Xiangyang, marking Qin Dynasty's formal collapse. Per Rebel Alliance's agreement, first to enter Guanzhong becomes king. The triumphant Liu Bang prepared his enthronement as King of Han. But as he readied for kingship, grim news arrived. Xiang Yu's forces were racing toward Guanzhong day and night, and Xiang Yu commanded the Chu forces, the strongest among all the rebel armies, fighting many major battles. Actually, without the Chu army holding off the main Qin forces for so long, it's questionable if Liu Bang could have exploited the weakness to capture Guanzhong. Now, Xiang Yu didn't want Liu Bang hogging the credit for toppling the Qin dynasty, so he marched his troops into Guanzhong. Soon, Xiang Yu advanced to the outskirts of Xianyang and hosted a banquet at Hongmen to invite Liu Bang. This is the infamous Hongmen banquet. Per the scheme of Xiang Yu's advisor Fan Zheng, they aimed to kill Liu Bang during the feast to eliminate the threat once and for all. But Xiang Yu had his own thoughts. First, in the late Qin era, many warlords emerged, forming rebel groups that were allied but operated independently. After Qing's fall, Xiang Yu aimed to be acclaimed as the supreme ruler. Executing Liu Bang without justification would alienate supporters. Also, at Hongmen, Liu Bang backed down, agreeing to follow Xiang Yu's lead. This humble approach pleased Xiang Yu, so he pardoned him. Liu Bang averted a major crisis, and next, they needed to reshape the post-Qin world order. Xiang Yu faced 2 choices: declare himself emperor and maintain Qin's centralized rule. But objectively, this wasn't practical since the idea of a unified empire wasn't widely accepted. Rebels fought Qin to restore states like Zhao, Han, and Qi, and Qin's tyranny made people wary of centralization. So Xiang Yu chose enfeoffment. He made 18 lords, such as the Qi king, Han king, and Zhujian king. Liu Bang became king of Han, given Hanzhong, Ba, and Shu, now southern Shanxi, Sichuan, Chongqing, a fertile area known as the Land of Plenty. On the surface, Xiang Yu treated Liu Bang well, but Sichuan's mountainous terrain traps people. Easy to enter, hard to exit. as the saying goes. Xiang Yu was essentially trapping Liu Bang there, and he still felt uneasy. On exits from Sichuan, he set up Yang, Sai, and Di kingdoms with Qin turncoat kings, the three kins, to watch Luo Bang. Among the three kins, Zhang Han of Yang was a famed commander. With him guarding, Xiang Yu thought it was foolproof. Xiang Yu led his army back to Pengcheng, the Chu capital, now Suzhou. He will lead the 18 lords as the hegemon king of Western Chu. The author calls this the Western Chu hegemony system. Will the world be peaceful now? That's just wishful thinking. The author points out that Xiang Yu made two major mistakes that doomed the Western Chu hegemony system to be short-lived. The first mistake was leaving Guanzhong. Guanzhong was the birthplace of the Qin Dynasty, developed over centuries with strong resources and a prime location. During the Warring States period, the Qin army attacked from Guanzhong against the Six States, nearly always victorious. Conversely, for the armies of the Six States to invade Guanzhong was harder than climbing to heaven. So there's an ancient saying, "He who controls Guanzhong controls the world." Xiang Yu, as hegemon king, should have made it his base to dominate. But he only cared about returning home in glory, so he abandoned Guanzhong and placed the Chu capital in his hometown. Pengcheng! Pengcheng's strategic position was important, but it's on the North China Plain with no natural defenses, making it unfit as a capital. Xiang Yu would pay a heavy price for his choice. Yu's second mistake was unfair distribution. When enfeoffing lords, Xiang Yu prioritized military merit, especially in key battles he led, like the Battle of Julu. Those who fought at Julu got bigger lands and richer rewards. For instance, Xiang Yu's favorite general Yingbu became king of Zhejiang. Rebel leaders Zhao Shi and Zhang Er, who defended Julu, became king of Dai and king of Changshan. But men like Tianrong of Qi and Pen Yu of Wei, who raised armies and won battles, were sidelined just for missing Julu. Back then, they risked their lives rebelling and toppled Qin, yet got nothing in return. How could they accept that? No surprise, Tianrong and Peng Yue were filled with resentment against Xiang Yu. In July 26 BC, Tianrong proclaimed himself king of Qi and openly rebelled against Chu. Peng Yue, active near Jiwei Lake in southwest Shandong, joined him. Together they destroyed Xiang Yu's kingdoms of Jiadong and Jibei, reuniting Qi's lands. Inspired by them, other lords and local powers who felt shortchanged in the enfeoffment eagerly prepared for action. The Western Chu hegemony system, barely 3 months old, was torn apart and on the brink of collapse. Xiang Yu immediately mobilized troops to suppress Tianrong and Peng Yu. With Xiang Yu stretched thin, how could Liu Bang, king of Han, waste such an opportunity? He determined this golden chance was the time to march out of Sichuan. Part 2. Liu Bang's unlikely resurgence and Xiang Yu's desperate counterattack. I'll narrate this process now. Since becoming king of Han, Liu Bang's faction had been biding time. During this, he made a crucial personnel change, recruiting elite military talent. Han Xin was originally Xiang Yu's guard, a man of grand ambitions who repeatedly offered strategic advice. But Xiang Yu, stubborn and self-reliant, rarely valued or adopted his suggestions. In frustration, Han Xin defected to Liu Bang's camp as director of granaries, managing military logistics. His duties required frequent reports to Chancellor Xiao He, who soon recognized his exceptional military genius. Xiao He pondered. Xiang Yu was undisputedly the era's top military mind, unmatched in prowess. Former Qin General Zheng Han ranked second, Liu Bang only third. Xiang Yu plus Zheng Han overpowered Liu Bang. For Liu Bang's comeback, acquiring another top strategist was essential. Yao He believed Han Xin was the ideal candidate. On Xiao He's insistence, Liu Bang broke protocol, promoting Han Xin from mid-rank officer to supreme general. Han Xin then did two things. First, devised a strategy to conquer the three kins, seize Guanzhong, then advance eastward to claim the empire. Second, overhauled the Han army using Qin military regulations. Why mimic the Qin army? Simple. Since the warring states, Qin's forces were the strongest, thanks to rigorous systems covering conscription, training, rewards or punishments, logistics, even retirement benefits. Han Xin used this framework to transform the Han army from peasant rebels into a battle-hardened regular force. This was vital for defeating both Zheng Han and Xiang Yu, as the Han army prepared feverishly. Tianrong rebelled against Chu, diverting Xiang Yu's forces. Liu Bang seized the moment, ordering Han Xin to attack. Thus began the Chu-Han War. The plan: use Hangzhong as a base to strike Guanzhong. But between them lay the Qinling Mountains, 800 li long, averaging 2,000 meters altitude, treacherous to cross. Historically, from Hanzhong to Guanzhong, there are only 4 paths through mountain valleys, and among them, only Ziwu Road and Chencheng Road are suitable for large armies. Among them, Ziwu Road is within the territory of Sai Kingdom, guarded by Sai King Sima Xin. Chencheng Road is within the territory of Yang Kingdom, guarded by Zhang Han's forces, the strongest among the 3 kins. As the saying goes, pick the soft persimmon to pinch. Zhang Han believed that the Han army would likely take Ziwu Road to attack the weaker Sai Kingdom, so he dispatched troops to reinforce its defenses. But after all, Zhang Han was a renowned veteran general. He wouldn't stake everything until the situation was clear. He stationed his main force at Feiyu, the capital of Yang Kingdom, waiting for an opportunity. At this time, Zhang Han received 2 reports. One said that the Han army was secretly repairing roads on Ziwu Road, seemingly preparing for a major offensive. Another report indicated that a Han unit was attacking from Chencheng Road, requesting reinforcements. Based on this, he concluded that the Han force on Chencheng Road was merely bluffing to distract him, while the real main attack was on Ziwu Road. On Ziwu Road, he immediately ordered his army to march out to fully reinforce Sai Kingdom. A fatal mistake. Han Xin had figured out Zhang Han's mind and deliberately set a trap to lure him in. Sure enough, as soon as Zhang Han's main force left, the Han army suddenly emerged from Chencheng Road and captured Chencheng City in one fell swoop. Zhang Han hurriedly turned back but was defeated in chaos. After this, the Han army surged forward. Sai and Di Kingdom surrendered at the first sign of trouble. The Han army seized the heartland of Guanzhong. Among the 3 kins, only Zhang Han held out at Feiyu awaiting reinforcements, eventually committing suicide in despair. The author points out that capturing Guanzhong was a crucial step for Liu Bang's faction to break through the blockade and turn the tide. Taylor Han Xing also established his reputation as a famed general through the ingenious strategy of openly repairing the plank roads while secretly crossing at Chencheng. For Liu Bang's faction, capturing Guanzhong had another benefit. Back then, Liu Bang made a 3-point covenant with the elders of Guanzhong, committing to no harm, leaving a very positive impression. In contrast, after Xiang Yu entered Guanzhong, he plundered the people, burned palaces, and had previously buried 200,000 surrendered Qin soldiers alive, so the elders of Guanzhong deeply hated him. Now, Liu Bang returned. People welcomed him along the roads, and former Qin soldiers flocked to join. Filled with bitter hatred for Xiang Yu and Chu, they fought bravely, soon becoming the main force of the Han army. However, Liu Bang knew in his heart that the Han army was not yet firmly established and lacked the strength to confront Xiang Yu head-on. He wrote a letter to Xiang Yu, stating that capturing Guanzhong was just reclaiming what rightfully belonged to him, with no further ambitions. Please rest assured, King Shang. Does Xiang Yu believe it? Of course not, but he is fighting Tianrong in Qi State and can't break away. After consulting with his advisors, Xiang Yu decided on a strategy of prioritizing Qi over Han, attacking north and defending west. First, putting all efforts into pacifying Qi State, while adopting a defensive stance against Liu Bang's faction. For this, Xiang Yu set up 2 lines of defense along both banks of the Yellow River, with the first line on the north bank. On the north bank, King Wai Bao and King Yin Sima Ang were responsible for the first line of defense. On the south bank, King Henan Shen Yang and King Han Zhengcheng were responsible for the second line of defense. Xiang Yu planned to use the Yellow River as a natural barrier to block Liu Bang's faction until he had time to deal with them. His plan was beautiful. The plan was beautiful, but unfortunately, Xiang Yu overlooked one point. During the enfeoffment, it wasn't fair and just. So many lords harbored resentment and were unwilling to fight for Xiang Yu. Sure enough, in the spring of 25 BC, the Han army launched a new offensive. Under the dual influence of military threats and diplomatic persuasion, King Wei Bao and King Yin Sima Ang both defected and joined Liu Bang's faction. Immediately after the Han army crossed the Yellow River, captured over 10 cities, and King Henan Shen Yang and King Han Zhengcheng lost their fighting spirit, also surrendering to Liu Bang's faction one after another. And thus, the two carefully laid lines of defense by Xiang Yu collapsed. Now it was Liu Bang's turn to issue orders as King of Han. He gathered over a dozen lords who had defected to form an anti-Chu alliance, mobilizing 600,000 troops, personally leading them to march towards Chu's capital, Pengcheng. Xiang Yu couldn't rescue in time. Pengcheng fell, and this was the greatest victory Liu Bang's faction had achieved since the Chu-Han contention began. Liu Bang was immersed in great joy, but unexpectedly, days later, the situation reversed and the alliance collapsed. How did this happen? The primary reason is naturally that Xiang Yu, as the military strategist with the highest combat prowess at the time, truly possessed exceptional abilities. After Pengcheng fell, Xiang Yu outwardly remained calm, letting the main Chu forces continue pacifying the Qi rebellion while secretly diverting 30,000 cavalry to form a mobile unit and rush towards Pengcheng. Xiang Yu fully utilized the advantages of fighting on home ground and familiarity with the terrain, maneuvering through the weak points of the Alliance army, silently flanking them and launching a fierce attack from behind. This completely caught Liu Bang off guard. He hurriedly turned to counterattack, but the alliance collapsed along the entire front in just half a day. Thanks to his bodyguards desperately covering him, Liu Bang managed to break through and escape. Xiang Yu counterattacked from a desperate position, defeating an alliance of 600,000 with just 30,000 Chu troops. The prestige of the hegemon king of Western Chu shook the world, and all the lords, seeing the wind change, defected back to Chu one after another, dissolving the anti-Chu alliance. The Battle of Pengcheng also exposed Liu Bang's inability to command large armies, especially against top-tier opponents like Xiang Yu, where he stood little chance. Fortunately, Liu Bang was someone who courageously admitted and corrected his mistakes. After this, whenever facing Xiang Yu, he adopted defensive tactics and engaged in wars of attrition. Thus began the prolonged stalemate phase of the Chu-Han conflict. The main focus of Part 3. Pengcheng was a costly defeat for Liu Bang's faction, but thankfully not crippling. Assessing the situation, Liu Bang divided the war into northern, central, and southern theaters. First, the central theater where Liu Bang personally commanded. After Pengcheng, Han forces retreated step by step before stabilizing at Xingyang-Outcom in modern central Henan. Xingyang sat at the Yellow and Huai Rivers confluence, backed by Luoyang and connecting Zhengzhou, a vital transport hub. Nearby Aosang had served as a grain depot since Qin times, stockpiling massive food reserves. Liu Bang planned to leverage this terrain and resources to rival Xiang Yu. Xiang Yu countered by concentrating Chu forces for a frontal assault on Xingyang. Xiang Yu believed capturing Xingyang would open a path to Guanzhong to crush Liu Bang's faction. Truly a god of war, Xiang Yu commanded fierce attacks for over a year. Despite Han resistance, Xingyang and Aokang fell, forcing Liu Bang across the Yellow River. Though his Guanzhong invasion failed, when Liu Bang built new defenses at Luoyang, exhausting the Chu army. Thus emerged a military standoff in the central theater. While Xiang Yu seemed dominant, his pinned-down forces created opportunities elsewhere for Han. Han Xing proposed focusing on the northern theater to capture the Shanxi Basin and North China Plain, flanking Chu. With Liu Bang's approval, the northern front erupted. Three vassal states dominated the north: Wei, Dai, and Zhao. All had joined the anti-Chu alliance but defected after Pengcheng. Wei and Dai were weaker. Han Jing captured them effortlessly, securing modern Shanxi. Next came Zhao. Zhao's territory spanned Hengshan, Handan, and Julu counties on the North China Plain, separated from Shanxi by the Taihang Mountains. Historically, 8 mountain passes, called the Taihang Eight Sing, connected these regions. Among them, Jingxing Pass was most suitable for large armies, the very route Qin used to conquer Zhao in ancient times. Now Han Jing also positioned to attack from Jingxing Pass. History seemed poised to repeat itself. Zhao's countermeasure amassed 200,000 troops at Jingxing Pass to annihilate the exhausted Han army when they emerged. The question was, would Han Xin really take Jingxing? He did take it, but in an extraordinary way. With masterful command, he created a classic battle example. The Battle of Backing Against Water unfolded thus. 30 li from Jingxing Pass, Han Xin ordered camp for rest. At midnight, he suddenly commanded the army to march toward Jingxing Pass. Now, he also selected 2,000 cavalrymen, giving each a red flag, and hid them on nearby hills to await orders. Nearing Jingxing Pass, Han Xin ordered troops to advance in batches. Han Xin reasoned Zhao's goal was total annihilation. They wouldn't attack small units to avoid scaring the Han army back, and indeed just watched silently. Han Xin calmly deployed his forces. To Zhao's shock, he positioned his main army with their backs to a river, a military taboo. The entire Zhao army felt victory was assured. In truth, Han Xin intended this. His troops had many recruits prone to rout. Only by cutting retreat would they fight desperately. This is placing them in death ground to survive. As Han Xin foresaw, Zhao attacked fiercely after engagement. The Han army faltered, retreating to the river until trapped. Then, cornered Han soldiers erupted with extraordinary combat power, holding Zhao at bay and stalemating the battle. Seeing no quick victory, Zhao sounded retreat to fight another day, but returning to camp, they were stunned. Han's red flags flew over their fortress. Han Xin's pre-hidden cavalry had seized the headquarters while Zhao's entire force was away. Zhao's morale instantly collapsed, and they crumbled under Han's pincer attack. King Zhao Shi was captured, Zhao's state fell, and neighboring Yan states surrendered without resistance. Thus, from autumn to winter of 25 BC, Han Xin destroyed Wei, Dai, and Zhao, while subjugating Yan, sweeping the northern theater in just 3 months. Yingbu rose from humble origins, raising a militia during the Qin Rebellion before joining Xiang Yu's forces and fighting across the land. At the Battle of Julu, Yingbu led the vanguard, forced across the Yellow River, and split the Qin army, paving the way for Xiang Yu's victory. His valor earned Xiang Yu's deep trust, and after Shang's fall, he was enfeoffed as king of Zhujiang, ruling Zhujiang and Lujiang commanderies. Zhujiang Kingdom lay south of Chu, controlling the middle Yangtze, a strategically vital position. Xiang Yu stationed Yingbu there as a southern shield for Chu, showing immense confidence in him. In 26 BC, when Tianrong declared himself king of Qi, Xiang Yu summoned Zhujiang's troops while marching to suppress the rebellion. But Yingbu, now comfortable, feigned illness to avoid fighting. Xiang Yu was furious, but since Yingbu was his favorite general, he forgave him, still expecting help against Han. Xiang Yu never imagined Yingbu would betray him, undoubtedly Liu Bang's doing. Other lords and local powers who felt shortchanged eagerly prepared for action. The Western Chu hegemony system, barely 3 months old, was torn apart and nearing collapse.
Xiang Yu immediately mobilized forces to suppress Tianrong and Peng Yu.
With Xiang Yu stretched thin, How could Liu Bang waste such an opportunity? He judged this was the moment to march out of Sichuan. Part 2. Liu Bang's unlikely resurgence and Xiang Yu's desperate counterattack. I'll narrate this process now. Since becoming king of Han, Liu Bang's faction had been biding time. During this, he made a crucial personnel change, recruiting elite military talent. Han Xing was originally Xiang Yu's guard, a man of grand ambitions who repeatedly offered strategic advice.
But Xiang Yu, stubborn and self-reliant, rarely valued or adopted his suggestions.
In frustration, Han Xin defected to Liu Bang's camp as director of granaries, managing military logistics. His duties required frequent reports to Chancellor Xiao He, who soon recognized his exceptional military genius. Xiao He pondered. Xiang Yu was undisputedly the era's top military mind, unmatched in prowess. Former Qin General Zheng Han ranked second, Liu Bang only third. Xiang Yu plus Zheng Han overpowered Liu Bang. Therefore, for Liu Bang's faction to stage a comeback, they must acquire another top-tier military strategist. Xiao He believed Han Xin was the most suitable candidate. On Xiao He's strong recommendation, Liu Bang broke convention by promoting Han Xing from a mid-level officer to supreme general above all commanders. After taking office, Han Xin did two things. First, he devised a strategy to conquer the three qins, seize Guangzhou, then advance eastward to claim the empire. Second, he overhauled the Han army using Qin military regulations. Why mimic the Qin army? Simple. Since the Warring States era, Qin's forces were the strongest due to the rigorous systems covering conscription, training, rewards or punishments, logistics, even retirement benefits. Han Xin used this framework to transform the Han army from peasant rebels into a battle-hardened regular force. This was essential for defeating both Zhang Han and Xiang Yu.
While the Han army prepared feverishly,
Tianrong rebelled against Chu, diverting Xiang Yu's forces. Liu Bang seized the moment, ordering Han Xin to attack. Thus began the Chu-Han War.
the plan: use Hanzhong as a base to strike Guangzhou. But between them lay the Qinling Mountains, 800 li long, averaging 2,000 meters altitude, treacherous to cross.
Historically, only 4 mountain paths connect Hanzhong to Guangzhou, with Ziwu Road and Qincheng Road, suitable for large armies. Ziwu Road was in Sai Kingdom territory, guarded by Sai King Sima Xin. Qincheng Road was in Yang Kingdom, defended by Zhang Han's elite forces, the strongest among the three qins. As the saying goes, pick the soft persimmon to pinch. Zhang Han assumed the Han army would attack weak Sai Kingdom via Ziwu Road, so he reinforced its defenses. But as a veteran commander, Zhang Han wouldn't commit fully until the situation clarified. He stationed his main force at Feiyu, Yang's capital, awaiting opportunities. Then Zhang Han received 2 reports. One claimed the Han army was secretly repairing Ziwu Road for a major assault. Another reported Han force is attacking from Qincheng Road, pleading for reinforcements. He concluded the Qincheng force was a feint to distract him, while Ziwu Road was the real main attack. On Ziwu Road, he immediately ordered his army to march and fully reinforce Sai Kingdom. A fatal mistake. Han Xin had deciphered Zhang Han's thoughts and deliberately set a trap to lure him in. Sure enough, as soon as Zhang Han's forces departed, the main Han army suddenly emerged from Qincheng Road and captured Qincheng City in one swift move. Bao? Zhang Han rushed back but was defeated in the chaos. After this, the Han army surged forward. Sai and Di kingdoms surrendered immediately. Han seized Guangzhou's heartland. Among the three qins, only Zhang Han held out at Feihui before committing suicide in despair. The author notes, capturing Guangzhou was crucial for Liu Bang's faction to break the blockade and turn the tide. Han Xin also built his reputation as a famed general through the ingenious repair the roads openly, cross secretly at Qincheng strategy. For Liu Bang's faction, capturing Guangzhou had another benefit. Earlier, Liu Bang made a 3-point covenant with Guangzhou elders, committing to no harm, leaving a positive impression. In contrast, after entering Guangzhou, Xiang Yu plundered people, burned palaces, and had buried 200,000 surrendered Qin soldiers, making locals detest him. Now Liu Bang returned. People welcomed him along roads. Qin soldiers joined. Fueled by hatred for Xiang Yu, they fought bravely, becoming Han's main force. But Liu Bang knew the Han army wasn't yet stable enough to confront Xiang Yu head-on. He wrote to Xiang Yu stating that capturing Guanzhong was reclaiming his rightful territory, with no further ambitions. Please rest assured, King Xiang. Did Xiang Yu believe it? Of course not, but he was fighting Tianrong and Qi and couldn't break away. After consulting advisors, Xiang Yu prioritized Qi over Han, attack north, defend west, crushing Qi first while defending against Han. For this, he established two defense lines along the Yellow River, with the first on the north bank. On the north bank, King Wei Bao and King Ying Sima An guarded the first line. On the south bank, King Henan Shenyang and King Han Shengchong guarded the second line. Xiang Yu planned to use the Yellow River as barrier until he could deal with Han. His plan seemed perfect. It seemed perfect, but Xiang Yu overlooked unfair enfeoffment causing resentment. Many lords refused to fight for him. Sure enough, in 2505 BC, the Han army launched a new offensive. Under military pressure and diplomatic persuasion, King Wei Bao and King Yin Sima Ang defected to Liu Bang's faction. Immediately, the Han army crossed the Yellow River, captured over a dozen cities, causing King Shenyang of Henan and King Zhengchang of Han to lose morale and defect to Liu Bang's faction. Thus, Xiang Yu's carefully laid two defense lines collapsed. Now it was Liu Bang's turn to issue commands as King of Han. He gathered over a dozen defected lords to form an anti-Chu alliance, mobilized 600,000 troops, and personally led them toward Pengcheng, Chu's capital. Xiang Yu couldn't rescue in time. Pengcheng fell, marking Liu Bang's greatest victory since the Chu-Han conflict began. Liu Bang basked in triumph, but unexpectedly, days later, the situation reversed. The alliance collapsed. How did this happen? No matter how fiercely the Chu army fought, they couldn't break through. As morale waned, Han Xin ordered a counterattack, throwing Chu into disarray. Historical records show 80,000 of 100,000 Chu soldiers died, revealing the battle's brutality. The Battle of Gaisha marked the annihilation of Chu's main force, eliminating Xiang Yu's chance of recovery. He retreated to Gaisha city with remnants, surrounded by Han forces. At night, Han Xin ordered Han troops to sing Chu folk songs to demoralize them. Chu soldiers wept upon hearing them. Xiang Yu despaired, feeling fate had abandoned him. This birthed the idiom besieged by Chu songs, but Xiang Yu still resisted desperately. That night, with 800 cavalry, he charged through the encirclement under darkness. 5,000 Han horsemen pursued closely. By southeast Dingwan and modern Anhui, only 28 men remained as Han closed in. Gathering his men, he declared, "My downfall isn't failure in battle, it's heaven destroying me. Do you doubt me? Then follow me into one last fight. I'll break Han's formation, kill their generals, and seize their banners." With that, Xiang Yu led the 28 men against Han, fulfilling every promise. Even at the end, Xiang Yu fought with unmatched ferocity, truly the war god of Qin-Han transition, yet no heroism could reverse fate. Xiang Yu galloped to Wuzhong in modern Anhui, a tributary of the Yangtze where boats docked. A ferryman waited with a small boat by the shore. He said, "Cross the Yangtze to Jiangdong. With thousands of miles and millions, you can regroup." But resolved to die, Xiang Yu entrusted his beloved steed to the ferryman, turned to fight, and fell wounded. Completely exhausted, he drew his sword and took his own life, aged just 31. According to Liu Bang's military order, whoever killed Xiang Yu would be enfeoffed as a marquis, the highest noble rank. This mother left, lovely Rolls of Frangland, would be enfeoffed as a marquis, the highest noble rank.
So the Han soldiers swarmed in, scramble and fighting over it.
Xiang Yu's body was finally divided among 5 men, and they all became marquises. Interestingly, these 5 were all former Qin generals who, hating Xiang Yu for burning Xianyang, joined the Han army, fought from Guanzhong to Wuzhong, and forced his death. A perfect revenge. Even more fascinating, one warrior named Yang Shi rose high in office, his descendants held top positions, and his 5th-generation descendant Yang Chang married Sima Qian's daughter. Sima Qian likely learned of Xiang Yu's final moments from this son-in-law and wrote it into the records of the grand historian, explaining why he described the death so vividly, as if eyewitnessed. So Sima Qian actually had solid sources. All right, that concludes our interpretation of the story from Han Xing to Xiang Yu. Study notes are below the audio. See you next time.